This video is sponsored by Watch Gang, the world's #1 watch club. Watch Gang delivers brand new watches on your schedule at up to 70% off retail prices. Every watch is yours to keep and is guaranteed to be worth at least what you pay. There's weekly giveaways where members get the chance to win a Rolex, Tag, or Seiko. Watch Gang's already given away over 500 Rolexes. Visit watchgang.com/Chael. Choose how often you'd like to receive a shipment and select a plan. $49 for the original tier, $99 for the black tier, and $299 for the platinum tier. Use the promo code BADGUY at checkout. That's going to get you 20% off your first watch. Members also get access to the Wheel of Watches, a fun, interactive way to choose the watch you buy with the chance of getting something even better, like a Rolex. Watch Gang is sponsoring UFC 264, Poirier versus McGregor Part 3, and they're giving away 2 tickets to the most anticipated fight in UFC history, plus $2,500 for travel. Click the link in the description to enter. Guys, it's been 2 days, and I can't fully get this Ngannou situation out of my head, and I want to. I got no horse in the race. But I sit back and watch and go, guys, you talk about misplaying a hand. All I'm speaking to is this, okay? Nothing has happened to Francis. Nothing. In many ways, a positive happened, even if on accident and a byproduct, which is Francis's next fight is colossally bigger. And if you understand how a championship contract works, okay, it matters. Things just got very beautiful for Francis, but his management team is now taking this personal. And the one thing that I've missed in this whole back and forth public dispute with Dana, who nobody has ever beaten, completely undefeated, is the guy they're choosing to take on. Okay, fine. What's your grievance? What is it that you feel happened to your client? And that's the part that seems to be missing, at least for me. Francis did not want to fight prior to September, just given the information that we've been told. He's not going to fight prior to September, so he got his way. Francis would like to keep that belt. That's largely what happens when you become champion. When you're Mr. Company Guy and you're Mr. Competition, I want to get in there, I want to do all these things, and you become champion, man, I just got to hold on to this damn thing, and a great way to hold on to it is to not defend it in the first place. Now, whether Francis knows from a psychological standpoint, I mean, it could be a deeper subconscious, whether he knows from a psychological standpoint that that is what some of his resistance and barriers are. I don't know. He'd have to tell us, but he may not know. He could come out and deny it. I'm still right. Whether he's consciously doing this or not, I'm still right. And most of the other guys do it too. They want to compete. They want to compete. They want to compete until they get the belt. Then you start being a little bit more tactical, which comes back to the compliment that I always pay St. Pierre. 8 days after he won the middleweight belt, he handed it back. He could have held on to that thing. He could have held on to it policy-wise up to a year. He held on for a week, said, I'm not coming back, threw it back, locker room, rest of you with a dream, get on with it. All right. But nothing bad happened to Ngannou. For whatever reason that's held up and whatever plan he has, whatever strategy he's got, no one took it from him. And that's the part where I get really confused why you would get in a back and forth and a public spat and create a fight that it doesn't appear anyone's looking for. Your client didn't want to fight prior to September. Your client is not going to fight prior to September. He got his way. And when he does come out and fight, guys, you're talking about 25 to 30% increase in participation due to the unique contract that champions, and Francis is one, have. It's a very great spot. I'm confused by the whole thing. And again, this really isn't my business. I don't know a whole bunch about it. But some of the stories that came out that Francis is gone and he's not in the US and he's not training, man, he's in Vegas. And I know guys that see him every day. I've never met Francis. I know him by text message. I've never said, hi, I'm Chael, and I'm Francis. I was in Phoenix 3 weeks ago, and he was there. So when I'm reading these reports, like Francis is out of the country, and he's in some location where taking care of something, but they don't have gyms and situations. I'm kind of throwing my hand. What are you talking about? And that wasn't their biggest case of the argument. I will tell you this. I was going to manage Francis. Now, if you go ask Francis this, he'll say, Chael's a clout chaser. I never talked to him about any such thing. Let me finish the thought. I thought Francis had no manager, okay? So if his manager sees, I wasn't looking to pluck your client. I didn't know he had a manager. And I kind of asked around about him. I was talking to Ali. I assumed Ali managed Francis because Ali has done a number of things to help Francis, whether Francis knows that or not. I assumed it was Ali's guy. And Ali said, no, Usman and he are close. So I do things to help Francis to please Usman, but I don't manage him. Something in this conversation I had with Ali, I took away that Francis did not have a manager, and I knew his backstory. Francis is a tremendous success story. You hear the Francis story, you hear what he went through, you can't help but have a place in your heart for him. Okay, I'm going to get a plan worked out together. I'm going to change his life. I'm going to help all these different things. I'm going to take it to him and let him know I'm going to do this for him. Then I find out he has a manager. Boom, I'm out. So I'm sharing that with you. So when manager sees this and go, this guy's going to take my guy. No. Didn't know you were involved. Point is the same, though. The point is the same, which is there has been missteps. There's a learning process. I went through this with my managers. There's no judgment here. But when you get in that and you go through it together, if you stay loyal and you stay together, you also understand and accept there's going to be growing pains. My father used to call it the price of an education. My father didn't go to college, so he would try different things, and if they didn't work, he never got down on himself. He said, this is how I'm buying my education. I'm having to learn on the go. But everybody else that has to pay for it, I got to pay some dues too. So I only bring it to you because I have observed Francis. I have observed his career. I've observed the way he went about things. I could give far more compliments than I could criticisms, in all truth. This was a miss because now there is a fight with the boss. Can any of you relate to that? And I'm sure you've enjoyed the drama. In fairness, I've enjoyed the drama. But if we were to put ourselves in his shoes, and you all have a job, do you think it's a good idea to get into it with the boss? That's all I'm asking. No, of course not. And there's some things that are worth fighting for, by the way. You don't have to just lay down and turn the other cheek all the time. This is a situation where there is no aggrieved party. Everybody got what they want. If you are a champion, I've never met a champion who is minded in interim champion. I do know interim champions. Shane Carwin comes to mind, who minded that he was interim champion and wanted to be the undisputed champion. If you're the undisputed champion, you see what I'm saying? This isn't an insult. This is a tremendous marketing opportunity if you're in Francis's shoes. If you're in Surreal and you're in Derek's, it's an opportunity to go out, win the belt. But everybody seemed to have got what they wanted here, yet they've chosen to not only fight, they've chosen to publicly fight. If you're looking at the chessboard, it's a miss. I don't understand where it came from. I don't understand whose idea this was. And when I tell you, sometimes you got to get in a fight. Sometimes, it's idea versus idea. When you do those things, there has to be a payoff. And sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. I understand. But it still needs to exist. The hope has to exist in the first place. The hope that we get to, and then fill in the blank. Francis did not want to fight prior to September. This is from Francis's side. Francis is not going to fight prior to September. Francis would like to hold on to that belt. And whether he's got to do it the hard way through competition or he wants to do it through the political way of not putting his name on a piece of paper, he's still the champion. Either way, Francis does not lose here at all. And when this night comes and he competes with either Surreal or Derek and it's champion versus champion, it's Warrior versus Hogan, it's going to be a beautiful poster. Surreal, imagine if it's Gong. Gong will walk into that fight. Imagine the poster, okay? He's got a belt. He's a handsome guy. He looks like he's carved out of stone. Taking on Francis, who's a handsome guy. Looks like he's carved out of stone. They both got a belt. Francis, undisputed champion. Surreal, Gong, 14-0. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful poster. Backstory, Training partners, they'll share their side. Maybe they agree, maybe they don't. Then you start talking to partners. You start talking to people that were in the room. You start talking to people who saw this. I mean, this story is awesome. Derek Lewis, who everybody loves. He's got a belt over his shoulder. Again, picture the poster. He's all of the weight limit. Francis is all of the weight limit, and Derek beat him. Derek's got a win over him. So this isn't a maybe can Derek win. This is an absolutely he can win. He's already done it. It's a great story. Francis for sure did not lose here. I think if you look a little bit closer, Francis won.